Hello guys, welcome to the channel. It's your boy EO here. So are you looking to move to Namibia? Well, this is the video for you. So I never really knew about Namibia until about a couple of years ago. Since then, it's been on my radar and it's now being prioritized as a place that I could see myself living in the future. But I never really had that perception before. Before I had the perception that Namibia was a completely deserted country with a very, very low population. And I found out the truth about the real reason why people are moving to Namibia. You know, people coming from the African diaspora or even people that are not Africans. So I had to ask myself, why are all these people moving there? You know, what is so special about Namibia? And once I got to the truth, I started to realize the real gem of Namibia, you know, is a special country. And this was due to many factors. And one of these factors was the political stability, governance of Namibia. So since Namibia gained its independence from South Africa in the 1960s, Namibia has experienced peaceful, democratic transitions and low level of political violence. We can see that with the elections that they hold every single year. They have a reputation of delivering peaceful elections. This plays down to the Electoral Commission of Namibia. And what they do is they basically oversee visitors, registration, elections, and counting. And this helps build public trust. The ways they do this is by implementing biometric voter registration in these elections. This can be backed up by an article that I read. It stated that back in 2013, Namibia actually started to implement biometric voter registrations. So it's basically the use of biometric machines. However, these biometric machines, there's a chance that they can also be rigged. And you have to ask yourself, what does that do for the political stability of the country? Does it make it worse? Does it make it better? Namibia also put more procedures into place that involves anti-corruption institutions. So we know this, right? Every African country has some form of corruption. However, Namibia has actually put into place specific agencies that deal with prosecuting and investigating corruption. So what does this tell us about the political stability and governance of Namibia? It tells us that it's stable, you know, and this is because they're working together to keep the country safe. But most importantly, it's in a better position than most African countries, except for Kenya. So of course I'm going to say Kenya. These are all of the reasons why I would consider raising my child and building a life in Namibia. And also the reason why people coming from the African diaspora are moving to Namibia. So another reason why people from the African diaspora are moving to Namibia is because of the economic opportunities, investment opportunities. This is due to the fact that in Namibia, there are many sectors that are growing. You know, you've got mining, diamond, uranium, copper. Tourism is also on the rise and it's also booming. In 2022, tourism contributed to around 14.3 billion to Namibia's GDP, which led to about 57,000 people being employed in the tourism sector. So to be fair, now I see why people are moving to Namibia. You know, they want to take advantage of the investment opportunities. And this is due to the fact that people coming from the UK or the US, those type of countries are already developed. You know, there's nothing to build. And I know this because I've experienced this. I'm currently in the UK and pretty much so many business ideas that I can think of that are already in the UK or in the US but are not in Namibia. And this is why I don't see a future in the UK for myself. Yes, the UK, the US is good for investments to store your money, but it's not good for business or anything in the long term. I mean, it's all down to your personal preference. and your situation. However, if you're going to Namibia, there are possible challenges that you might face. This involves the healthcare. It can be expensive to pay for healthcare if it's in the city. So let's say that something bad happens to you in terms of your health, you're going to have to pay a hefty price for healthcare, especially if you don't have the money. So that's something that you would need to take into consideration when moving to Namibia. Also, imported goods can be hard to source. You might have to pay extra fees to buy certain things, like electronics. So the question is, would I move to the country? Would I move to Namibia? And the answer is yes, I would. But I feel like the main thing I would look at is the safety. Is the country safe for foreigners? And yeah, I know that I said Namibia is safe. It is safe. When I looked at it online, it said it was safe, but you still need to go to the country to see for yourself, Is Namibia actually a safe place? Can you actually walk along the road and not get stabbed or get murdered? So if you want to follow my journey to eventually move to Africa, find my home in Africa, or if you are in that same position, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and also comment down below. Are you moving to Namibia? Have you ever been to Namibia? Please do let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, peace.